Okay, hey, if you're early, cool, cool. I'm early too. I'm gonna wait till 12. Uh-oh, now I don't have a timer to tell me what time it is. Okay, what am I gonna do in that case? Uh, okay, I'll just trust myself. I'll just trust myself um, as they're building the audience. So I wonder when they're building the audience is anybody actually on? If anybody's on, give me a like, give me a thumbs up so I can know that. If not, I'll know that what you should do is wait until they say something. I don't know. Okay, so audience is on the way. That's funny, the things you do and say. Aha! Somebody's here. Hey, what's up, WK? What's up, Will Jones? Hey, God bless you, everybody. If you're on, or even if you end up reading, seeing this later, make sure you go over to WK Jones page. Um, you can find him on a live broadcast he did this morning, which was a great inspiration for me as well. But go on over there and check out his page and get a look at what he's doing with his new book that he's done to continuously help uplift people. He's one of my spiritual inspirational brothers, so I'm always glad to hear and see from him. Look, what I've done this morning, hey, what's up, my sister Zette? Oh, Tantala, oh, see that coming in from and Raleigh. I got you in Raleigh this time. Hey, look, what I've done is, welcome to what I call Glue Wednesday, and I call it glue. I know a lot of people say Hump Day, but I call it glue because it's not about getting over in the week, but it's about pulling the week together. So my glue is GLUE. God's love undoes everything. Now, undoes does not mean that he separates things, but it's just that any challenges or problems that you have, if you use God's love, that will outdo that problem. It will undo it and it'll help you bring it together. So what I've decided to do, what I'm going to bring together for you this morning and this week, I've learned that I want to try to keep the session small, so especially since it comes around the noon area, which is some people's lunchtime, and so this can give them a chance to enjoy it live. But what I've done is created a message that I call fun. Now, here's what I want to say to you. When we hit midnight on Saturday, December 31st, 2016, and we transition to Sunday, January 1st, 2017, what did we say? We said, Happy New Year. We didn't say, you are cured. You see, people who feel sad around the holidays may still be feeling sad. And we categorize it as the holiday blues. So what I like to do is give you a message that helps turn those blues into BLUES. Believing you're loved, understood, and embraced by someone. And I water that belief with fun, F-U-N, friends understand needs. We have to recognize friends understand needs. So again, blues, B-L-U-E, believing you're loved, understood, and embraced by someone. And that someone we hope is our friends, F-U-N, that bring us fun. Friends understand needs. Okay. And that's why it's important to understand yourself so that you can identify and attract the right or the best friends into your life. These would be quality friends, not quantity of people. Notice the difference between a quality friends and quantity of people. You should seek people who don't subtract or diminish from your life, from your joy, but add to your life and multiply the blessings. I know you see that little old school math in there. Remember we just had the 4 basic tenets of math: subtraction, division, addition, and multiply. So here that is again. You don't want to seek the people who subtract from or diminish your joy. That's the division. But the people who add to your life and multiply the blessings. Old school still works, okay? But I want you to recognize the main thing is that you are not alone, and you can't do it alone. Everyone needs help at some level. Yet there's often a fear of asking for help. See, sometimes we're afraid to ask for help because it casts a negative shadow on our past, on our faith, and sometimes on our reputation. We think that asking for help makes us look bad in retrospect. It makes us look like we made poor decisions, when in fact, what we didn't make poor decisions. We just have to, find ways to make better decisions, as well as find a way to make a different decision and get someone to get us on a different path sometimes. Okay? Where was I? Okay? Yeah. Fear. So therefore, that fear is fueled by the fact that sometimes we don't choose the right messengers. Choosing the right messengers carefully impacts all three of those blessings. See, we think that that asking for help hurts our past, our faith, and our reputation, and we decide that those are blocks instead of recognizing that all of those are blessings. Those are blessings. Your past, your choices, and faith, and your reputation. So earlier this week, I posted a fact that God always sends us somewhere with new tools, which we have misinterpreted as few tools. Make your move and step out on faith. See, faith, F-A-I-T-H, feeling as if there's hope, because you really have nothing to fear. F-E-A-R. Faith eventually attracts resources. Quality friends are a new tool, though we often enjoy claiming, well, I have so few friends that I can really count them on just one hand, and we make that a wonderful thing. That doesn't mean, having few tools, don't change that. Okay, slow down because I get excited. Okay, but recognize that having new tools is not the same as having few tools. So even though you may have a few friends that you said, oh, I can count my friends on one hand. Yeah, that's a few. But those friends are constantly new and renewed based on who you are. So we choose our messengers carefully, and we have to recognize no one's perfect. Your friends won't be perfect. However, based on how well you know yourself, you'll align yourself with friends with whom you are perfect for one another. And now how does that look? I believe like attracts like. I know that the cliche is that opposites attract. And I don't disqualify the cliche. I just remember to place it in the proper perspective. Again, based on who you are. You may have friends that you disagree on certain topics. However, wide disbeliefs may not be a gap that you want to expose yourself to on an everyday basis. So, really think about that, Yeah, it's okay that you agree to disagree, but if you have wide gaps of just that that both of you just don't believe in something, well, now you just have to make a decision. You know what? Is that something I want to be exposed to every day? Because am I going to constantly be talking to that person and seeing that person? It's a choice that you get to make. Knowing yourself will mean separating your needs from your wants. Knowing yourself is separating your needs from your wants. My mother used to say the only thing, when we say, Mommy, I need something, she said, the only thing you need to do is stay black and die. Everything else is categorized under a want. Okay. Now, y'all, those of us family, y'all know my mother was crazy, and that's why we call her our mother. But the only thing you need to do is stay who you are and die. Those things that they can't change. Everything else comes in the category of a want. So that means that it's a decision that you have to make based on how you see yourself and who you are. So let me wind us down by giving you some needs in connecting to the best friends for me. See, for me, first of all, friends, you got it, Michael. Here comes some sportyisms. Friends are Friends. Fun, real, interesting, easy, new, decent, and self. Fun, real, interesting, easy, new, decent, and self. See, true friendship, those are just some qualities of friendship that I have, that therefore I believe I have the right to look for in my friends. Let me break them down one at a time. The first F is fun, and we've already established that fun is F-U-N. friends understand needs. In other words, take care of one another. You've got some good friends in your life. Slow down and take care of one another. All right? The R is for real. You have to have real friends, and I know people say, well, we're just keeping it real. Keeping it real does not mean that you have to conform to, there's a difference between conformity and concession. And sometimes conforming means that we force ourselves to give in and be like someone else, whereas a concession means that, I understand and I can let that go. And so a lot of times we'll see the term for real connected to how people curse a lot, talk, use a lot of negative connotations and talk about how, life sucks and this and that. Yeah, well, I'm just keeping it for real. That's the way it is. That's not true. You know what? I'm going to get a friend's t-shirt, Clara. Okay. But, life is a good thing. Even though, I remember I said to a guy a couple of weeks ago, I said, you know what? Hey, every day on this side of the ground is a good one. He said, not if you're a coal miner. So that's the truth too. But everything is about perspective. But keep real friends. You may have to revamp your circles of friendship based to your your commitment. I know a lot of people take a new year for New Year's resolutions, and whether you want to call it a resolution or not, it doesn't matter to me, because to me, I didn't wait for January 1st to say I'm starting a new 365 days. You start a new year every day. And so you should be making resolutions. You should resolve to be a better you every single day based on who you were yesterday. See, yesterday I was such and such, and now that I've learned this, I have a new way of how I want to look at things in my life. So that's the way I look at it. So and that becomes a new commitment for you. So when you have that new commitment, you may have to revamp the circle of people that you're hanging out with. And some people, they may mean you well, but you know what? You have to see the new light that you bring into lives. And when you bring in new light, if you've got people who are constantly trying to black you out, oh no, you can't do that. You'll never make that. You shouldn't try that. I don't see why you're doing that. I don't see why, by the way, it's not advice. It's a testimony. I don't see why means they don't understand. And what they don't understand is why it's perfect for you. So, remember, friends don't have to be perfect. They have to be perfect for you. And so you want to make that thing work for yourself. So, just think about how real your friends are. The next letter in friends is I. And that's for interesting. You have to have interesting friends. And think, you have to, and interesting friends means that you have to have a good blend. You have to have a good blend of ethnicity, age, gender, and that which also comes under having new friends. But think about some of the stereotypes that we tend to have. Stereotypes can just as easily be turned into interesting facts about someone else's culture. So when we say, certain types of people don't do this, or certain type of people always do this, why can't we just look at that as, that's interesting. Why do we feel that this type of person automatically falls into such and such category? Normally it's because someone else has told us that. And so that makes it a stereotype that we tend to accept, again, based on the messengers that we choose, the people who we allow to funnel these things into our minds, and then we spew them out. Think about the messages that you bring into your life and the interesting people that you want to bring into your life. Let go of those stereotypes and get to know somebody for who they are. Okay? The E is for easy. Friendship should be easy. Look, you're not a square peg in a round hole. You may actually outgrow your friends. Once you remember when we talked about real and you get that new sense of commitment about who you are, then you may outgrow your friends. And then, often unintentionally, they'll try to force you to prove that you're still one of them by questioning or challenging your loyalty. Don't do it. Rest his soul, Michael Jackson's, remember the song Bad? You know, the song Bad was B-A-A-D. You know, remember back in the day we used to, yo, I'm bad. Well, Michael Jackson, the way they used to do videos is before they played a song, and I think he was one of the innovators of this, they would show a story that led up to what the song was about. So Bad was actually social commentary. It was a story about a young black kid in Harlem who had won a scholarship, and he went to a military school upstate. When he came home and he came back around the block, his boys were hanging out on the stoop. And he's like, hey, fellas, I'm home. And they're like, what you mean you're home? You ain't one of us anymore. You go to that school. You ain't one of us. And he said, no, I'm still one of you. And they said, no, you ain't bad anymore. See, because we say, yo, I'm bad. Like, I got it going on. So they said to him, no, you ain't bad anymore. He said, yes, I am. Well, he went on a crime spree. And this is a true story, by the way. He went on a crime spree to show his friends that he was still bad, that he was still one of them. And in the process of going on that crime spree, the New York City police actually shot and killed him. And that was a true story. So Michael Jackson showed that on the video. And after maybe 30 days, they take the video off, the story off, and just show the song. And so when they just showed the song, the media latched onto it. Here comes one of those messengers we have to be careful. The media latched onto it, and they just talked about how Michael Jackson was grabbing his crotch, defacing property, you know, in the subway and all of that kind of stuff. And they watered down the fact that what it was a self-esteem issue where the young man was trying to show his friends that he was still one of them. And it cost him his life. Now you can look that up on YouTube. By the way, you can do a fact check on me. I'm not a politician. You can look it up on YouTube. The only difference is that on YouTube, what they've done, and I don't know if they did it based on the fact that Michael Jackson is deceased, but they don't show it as Michael Jackson anymore, coming from a military school. They just show it as a black kid coming from a school, a prep school, when they show him with his preppy jacket on. So yeah, go on and check it out, and you really get a look at that. So again, friendship should be easy, and beware that you are not forcing yourself to show people that you're still one of them, because just because they haven't moved forward doesn't mean that you can't move forward. All right. The N in friend stands for new. You got to get some new friends. And as we grow older, as we mature, actually new friends, you know, if you get one new friend a year, that's actually a good average. I don't know what the real average would be, but you don't get a whole bunch of new real friends as you grow. I think sometimes the best friends we have in a lot of cases are the ones that, you know, were in elementary, junior high, and high school, because there was no economic divide back then. Now, as you get older, and I'm not using it as a negative, by the way, now as you get older, now when you meet someone, you want to know their economic status. You're not looking for broke people. You know, you're not looking to have a relationship with, oh man, you look like you got a lot of drama in your life. I think I want to be your friend. No, we're not looking for that. We're looking for people who have it together the same way we lie about having it together. Okay, so, but you got to get some new friends. You got to continue to develop relationships, different ages, genders, ethnicities, and professions. When we learn to communicate with all kinds of people, we move ourselves to a higher plane. You see, if you can only talk to a certain people at your level, then you'll be at a disadvantage during a job interview, asking for a raise or a promotion, assisting customers, getting directions when you're lost, representing a sick or injured loved one, furthering your education, trusting, sharing, caring. See all the things that you will lose when you decide that you can't speak with and talk to other people based on your perceived value of who they are. So get some new friends. And the D in friends is for decent. And decent is defined by who you are. You know, do you see yourself as decent? Well, that's how you define if your friends are decent. And by the way, I slipped that in there because the D also stands for define. You know, are your friends meeting the definition of your life? Are your friends meeting the definition of your life? How do you see yourself? And remember, like attracts like. So are you bringing those types of people into your life? And so the S in friends, because we want to keep it plural, is to be safe. make sure that you're safe. Again, when we take this back to talking about people who may still experiencing holiday blues, be safe, and more importantly, be your friend. So the S in be your friend would be self, SELF, self-esteem, love's foundation. Check your self-esteem. Self-esteem love's foundation. And you recognize that you can't love if you don't recognize love. And you can't recognize love if you don't love yourself. And when you love yourself, what you'll do is you'll choose messengers more carefully, and you'll have more fun because friends understand needs, believing you are loved, understood, and embraced by someone. That's my acronym for blues, and I don't know that one by heart. That's why I had to pause and look at it. But have fun. Friends understand needs with the blues, believing that you are loved, understood, and embraced by someone. In fact, we can take that S and make that you are believed and loved by Sporty, because I love you. I appreciate you for tuning in. I'm going to see if I can roll this down. If I can, yes, I can. Then I can quickly see if there's any questions or comments that I can respond to. I won't be able to do this always, but at least I'll be able to do it right now. And I see that my sister was on there, and that was good to see her. Good to see her. And I can answer. Amen is always a good comment. Yep. I'm ready for my glue. I'm glad to have it. My cuzzo. That's my preaching cuzzo over there too. Okay. Love it. Okay, what we got here? Let me see if there's any questions. Quality is important. All right. Okay, I'm going to get I'm working on getting T-shirts. That's something that I need to do, and so I'll be sure of that. And absolutely yes. I hear you, cuzzo. Cuz. Okay. Oh, good. Hey, Richard, I'm glad you like the Bible. Remember, Bible, basically, basic instructions before leaving this earth. All right? That's what you got to do. Disconnect from negative people. And a lot of times we say we do. I'm going to get negative people out of my life. Bulletin, negative people want to get positive people out of their life. So the best way to get negative people out of your life is sometimes embracing them. And they even recognize that they're going to have to just leave that negativity if they want to be in your space, or, you just have to let them go. You have to stop that instant automatic access that they have to your life. Remember, I talked about putting people on pause a couple of weeks ago. If you want to get negative people out of life, when the phone rings, you got caller ID. Don't look at the say, oh my God, it's so-and-so. So that's the negative person. Hello. No, just don't answer it, okay? Friendships need to be easy. That's true. And I'm always your friend, Keto. You know it. I love you too. All right. Okay, friends. Oh, good. A lot of good stuff. Hey, Jada. Oh, I got one of my nieces is calling me Uncle Sporty. You know what? I am so blessed to I actually even had, and I don't have it with me, but I actually really enjoy and appreciate the unofficial title I have of uncle. I have so many nieces and nephews that are not blood relatives, but they see me as their uncle, and I see them as my real nieces and nephews too. What I was about to say is I actually have an ID card that says Uncle Sporty from when I worked with a friend of mine, Corla Hawkins, called her Mama Hawk, and she had a program called Recovering the Gifted Child Program, where she helped children, that the schools had labeled as incorrigible, and she brought them together, and she not only gave them education, she taught them social skills and respect. So any man that they met, they addressed him as uncle, and any woman they addressed her as aunt, and then they even had, based on the age, grandma and grandpa. So I was Uncle Sporty, and I even had an ID that said Uncle Sporty, and I never got rid of that ID, and I've had that for over 20 years. I still carry it in my wallet. If any of my nieces and nephews from Mama Hawk School tune in, I still love you, and I still love and enjoy all my nieces and nephews. So anyway, again, let me just close out by saying, fun, friends understand needs. So choose your messengers carefully, because you can't have fun if you're running around with the wrong types of people. And that's not a judgmental thing at all. See, we have to forgive ourselves and recognize it's not being judgmental, it's being safe. It's being safe for ourselves, and each one of us is an important piece of the puzzle. You connect to a lot of other people, so if you bring a bad element into your life, then it festers and it spreads out to the other parts of your life. So, make that decision, and it's okay to be you. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to, by the way, have a range of emotions. Emotions are not neither right or wrong. If you're feeling, down and out, go on and cry. That's okay. But come on and pick yourself back up. It's okay to go through the emotions that you have, and it's okay to be who you are, because who you are helps me be who I am. You are my glue, and I'm glad that I could be your glue on this Wednesday morning, the first Wednesday in 2017. Thank you. God bless you. And I hope to see you next week. Over and out. Ciao.